Well, it's 6 in the morning. I feel pretty tired because yesterday one car rental ended at 10:30, so I was done at 11:30 cleaning it up, and now today a guy takes it again at 10, a different customer. Yeah, that's definitely not a good setup, you know, when you have to. So I had to go to the airport and give him the car, and then yesterday I had to go there to pick up the car, and I was a bit nervous as usual because these were like 4 guys in their probably early 30s, but they returned the car in one piece. And we met at the Shell gas station inside the airport, just where we parted ways 3 days ago. They didn't exceed the kilometers. They filled up the gas, and then I thought we were done, so I was just waiting for them to fill it up. And then they said, just wait a second, I'm gonna take it quickly through the car wash. But that car wash, like, yeah, it cleaned up a little bit, but you know, it's like the cheapest variety. Probably he used basic. Was like even the mosquitoes on the front all stayed there, you know. But it's okay, I cleaned it up, at least because that's what I thought I would do, you know, just take it through a regular car wash. But I would probably use more expensive, like premium or something, because the regular, that's the problem with these late night returns, is that the regular car wash, you know, where you can wash yourself much better, they all close at 10. And so I had no choice, and so he cleaned it up. I came home, cleaned up the front a little bit with a bucket of water and the mop, and took out all the mats again. Oh, by the way, big news, I finally decided to splash on a pressure washer. It's one of the best rated pressure washers on Amazon. It's like 235 bucks Canadian. Of course, it's electric, not super high pressure, but it's enough to clean up, you know, like floor mats and the car outside. So let's say if I had that one yesterday, I could have just hooked up, you know, have an electric outlet outside on the patio, and I'm on the first floor, of course. I could have you know, cleaned up the car better, much better, like all those mosquitoes, for example. And then I could have laid the mats on the grass in front of my apartment and just clean it up. And this thing should not be noisy, I don't think. Otherwise people might complain, because it was getting close to 11 a.m. right? But all is good. So I you know, shook the dust off of them, and I had no choice. I threw them in my bathtub, but they were just, you know, a bit dusty, no chunks of dirt. I was careful not to clog up my drain, you know. And then I basically used this the best one I found, VLP, vinyl leather cleaner. So it pretty much I use it to clean everything inside, like the door panels, the dashboard, you know, the seats, and so I cleaned up everything, the steering wheel, so that it's not sticky for the guy, right? The display over here, doors, so everything. And that's it. And then got up in the morning, yeah, and I let the floor mats soak in the bathtub overnight. And I got up in the morning, cleaned it up, put them in the car, checked for, now it was daylight, I checked for some spots I might have missed, and found some greasy fingerprints on the rear driver's side window, like the small window in the very back there. somebody was touching it. And they left me, and so yeah, we did the transfer at the Shell station, and then we changed seats. And I said, all right, what airline? They said WestJet. Okay, so I took them to departure. They get out. Turns out there was another guy in the very back. Like, what? How many people are there? I thought there was like 3 of them. Turns out there was like 4. One big guy was in the very back in the last row. Like, that Durango is amazing. You can actually lose people over there. But yeah, it's designed for seven people inside, so that's what makes it great. See a little bit of, you know, because people go to mountains, or I don't know where they go, but because we're no longer allowed to track them, right? I used to have a tracker in that Durango, and then the rental company said, all right, as of I think it was like May 17th, no GPS trackers are allowed for privacy concerns. Like, it's my vehicle. What privacy concerns? You're renting a vehicle. I'm pretty sure all rental cars, let's say if you go to Dollar General or Avis or anything like that, they all tagged, right? Just like commercial trucks, right? Most commercial trucks, like at my work, where I work, there's a GPS inside, so they always know where I am because it's their vehicle, right? And it's my job. So I don't know, but I had to comply, so I had to remove the GPS, so I have no idea where they're going. But these guys, the last guys, they said they were going to Edmonton for some exams, and I'm always wondering about this, where people go to Edmonton. What, Edmonton has no airport? I don't know, but I guess they just wanted to go on a road trip or something. So they landed in Calgary, then they drove 4 hours to Edmonton, took the exam, drove 5 hours back, because they said they got a B&B in Canmore, and they stayed there for 2 days, and then they drove back, I think. So they put like 1,000 kilometers. So now my Durango is just over 10,000, like, oh, 10,800, because I have to write it down. And so yeah, in the morning when it was daylight, I did the check-in. And check-in, you have to walk around and take pictures of the exterior and interior of the car, and record your odometer and your gas, which is full. Oh, and the guy gave, so yeah, when I brought them over to departures and we opened the trunk where they were taking the baggage out, they said, hey, can we leave you this pack of water? And they had like a pack, you know how you can go to, like, I don't know, Costco and buy like 25 or 30 bottles. So that's what they had, half a liter bottles of water. I said, yeah, sure, leave it. So they left it. So now now I have water everywhere, and I put 2 bottles in Durango. I think that's classy, you know, like, I like it. Let's see, if I was renting a vehicle, I would appreciate it if there was some water inside, and they're all sealed, like the bottles are sealed. So I put 2 bottles in the center console there for them. For this next guy, this guy takes it for, I think, 5 days. So basically today's Tuesday, 10 a.m. and he's returning it Sunday 10 a.m. So I put a key in the magnetic box, hid it near the car. I'm gonna send him a picture 15 minutes before the rental contract starts at 10. Then I'm gonna tell them that yeah, see, finally they're creating a new road here, because this one was so bad right under the runway. Whenever they fixed something, it would develop another pothole. Like, it's pothole upon pothole upon pothole here. Like, now they closed it. You see these fresh black spots, but this was terrible. This was basically like a rural country road, and this is Country Hills Boulevard. And so all of a sudden, I guess they either leased or bought this piece of land from a farmer here, and they're gonna do this like parallel, which is ingenious, because you see here the road turns right, and they're gonna connect this over here, so it's actually gonna be straight, you know? Like, how did they come up with this? But once again, I saw these guys had trouble when they started digging, and of course I'm passing here every day. I was watching this the development with interest. They started digging, they started cleaning up the, you know, the dirt, and all of a sudden there was water. Water started coming up, just like over there on the other side of Deerfoot Trail. And so it took them like a couple of weeks. They were bringing a whole bunch of dump trucks and stuff, you know, with soil and then gravel, and then there was like a roller going over the dozer. So somehow they solved the problem, so I don't know. But again, that's the issue here. There's too much water on the ground, and of course when the temperature changes, you know, winter, spring, especially that area, because it's like an open field on both sides, constant wind, it just doesn't want to stay, you know, in good condition. But yeah, roads here in Calgary, that's one thing just like Quebec, same story, because it's all weather related. See, like here it's nice, right? All other areas, it's cracks, like cracks go like this, and missing chunks of pavement. Yeah, over here it's nice. You see, like same road, compare this section to that one under the landing path of airplanes. Maybe that has something to do with it as well, I don't know. Maybe people dump, you know, people go to the washroom on takeoff or landing and dump some bad stuff on the road, I don't know. And so yeah, today's Tuesday, what is it, June 10th. So yeah, I have my Durango is gonna be booked pretty much all June. The last guy returns at July 4th, and then early July I'm flying to UK for a few days, and I confirmed yesterday my gay wedding. Well, not my wedding, but the wedding they hired me to do a photo shoot at proceeds as planned, which honestly I'm surprised, because these two ladies, they hired me like 4 months ago or 5 months ago, and I was thinking like, why do you need to look so early? Because maybe you'll change your mind. And so the other day I sent them an email. I said, you know, half expecting them to say no, we broke up or something, you know. I said, hey, are we still on for that wedding on at the end of June? And she got back to me a couple of hours after, and she says, oh, sorry I didn't see your email earlier, but yeah, we're still on, everything is good. And that's gonna be an interesting trip, because it's somewhere in a rural area. It's like a banquet, whatever, like a community center, you know, that they use for weddings, like a hall, not a hall, what do you call it? But you know, like a big building where people do concerts and weddings and funerals and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going for Starbucks, yeah. And she said, yeah, we're still on. So I'll be doing, I'm supposed to be there at 2:30. So just, I think it's like 1 hour north of Calgary, so which is nice, will be a good road trip. But I'll probably have to use Compass, because I'm pretty sure Durango will be rented out. But for some reason, the last one, so the last customer I have, his rental starts in June. It's like 1 week and ends up July 4th, and that's it. After that, I don't have any bookings for some reason. Like June was booked like 2 months in advance. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I increased the price, but I brought the price, I changed the price to my own custom price based on Priceline, because that's how, you know, I go to Priceline and I check to see all agencies in this area, what's the price is for a full-size SUV, and I specifically see Dodge Durango, and it's $200 a day, and so I changed my pricing to $195. So But again, I don't get all the money, right? So the rental company keeps 25%, which is good, because then if there's any damage, I do a claim and there's no deductible. Yeah, by the way, of course, on my car insurance, both vehicles, I removed the deductible, so now if that hail happens again, I'll be covered. But this one, because it's lost value because of the hail and I didn't fix it, I really have to protect this one from more damage.
Hello, can you hear?
Yeah, hi, can I please get a tall Americano, half decaf, upside down?
Yeah, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, I'll see you now.
Thank you. And the best part I forgot to mention, so this guy brings the car in one piece, relatively clean, like, you know, just regular dirt, like what, you know, you leave after you step on floor mats and stuff like that, but nothing major, no particles of food like the previous guy, right? I said, what are you gonna use it for? He says, for a wedding. And when he brought it back, man, there's like wrappers of Mars chocolate, there's some kind of like almost like rice, you know, what they throw at weddings. It took a long time to clean. This guy, it was good, you know. So turns out when I asked him about the exam when I was driving them, I said, so what kind of exam, I'm just curious, you went for to Edmonton? He says medical exams. So turns out these guys are basically future doctors or nurses, you know, so they have money, they're rich. And so he cleaned up, he did a basic wash, even though I did not ask him for this, right? And he gave me, when he went inside the shell, no, then when we came back, when they were getting out at the car at the airport, he gives me a little envelope. He says, something extra for you. And I'm like, what is this? And he gives me this. And I'm like, okay. So I take it home. I didn't look at it too closely. Then I see, like, holy moly, it's 50 bucks. A prepaid card, you know. So the guy, and he says, I really liked your car, you know. So, which is great, you know. So basically, another happy customer. As I always say at work, you know, my dispatch is always laughing, you know, when I give them paperwork, when I, let's say, bring the pickup, something I picked up, or I delivered the piece of equipment, I bring them back the paperwork, and I say, another happy customer. One guy's always laughing. I'm like, you're so funny. Well, the guy was, you know, happy to see me, so what can I say? So yeah, I shaved my head, cleaned up a little bit. Now I look a bit younger. But yeah, this side of my face, guys, don't pay attention. It's because of sun damage. When I was driving, right, always sun is here because I was sitting on the left side of the semi-truck, right? And so I find that like my right side of my face looks much better than the left side. And so when I talk to somebody, I do like this. Yeah, go ahead, okay. But as one actor once said, he says, I'm not a pole dancer, so don't mind how I look. And so yeah, so that was an interesting experience. The guy liked the car. And again, it's always scary, but you know, that's what got me into this idea, is after I started working for this equipment rental company, right? That's what they do. They buy expensive equipment and they rent it out to strangers. And of course I see how people return the stuff, like especially, you know, scissor lifts, man. Like they do drywall, everything is covered in drywall. It takes our guys like probably 40 minutes to pressure washer it from the dried drywall, you know. And then they always leave screws and bolts in the basket of a scissor lift, because, you know, let's say these are some AC guys or, you know, plumbers or whatever, I don't know, they always nails. And I always pick them up because, you know, when I'm driving, this thing will fall on my bed and either somebody behind me will get a flat, or I will get a flat because there'll be a bunch of nails in our yard. And actually we have that little gadget, you know, looks like a small suitcase on wheels with a handle and has magnets in it. And once in a while, on Saturday, we have one high school kid working. He's been coming every Saturday. I don't know, he's like 16, 17. And I see him sometimes, he's checking the yard for, you know, for nails. And it's already 6:26. So time to go. So yeah, I'll probably do Uber today. I didn't try yesterday because yeah, it didn't look busy. I checked the app, did not look very busy, so I just went home and I killed some time until 10 o'clock, and then I got no, 9:40, and then I called Lyft, got a driver to take me to the airport. And this guy, I get in and there's like a smell of sweat, because yesterday was super hot, like plus 29, plus 30 Celsius. And this guy, I guess, you know, that's why it's always good. Oh shoot, and I forgot. I prepared a spare t-shirt because I thought I would do Uber after work today. And if it gets very hot and I get sweaty, I thought I would bring a spare t-shirt, and I forgot. And so this guy was quite smelly, you know. That's definitely a no-no for a taxi driver. And I was wondering, and he had like one of those leaves, you know, like those fragrance leaves you can buy at the gas station. It was it was hanging right here on the mirror. And I was thinking, why would you put it so close to you, you know? What, you don't want to smell the passengers or something? Like, I had it here in this car, but I put it on the very back, you know, back seat behind the headrest. And I hid it inside the, like, basically it's on the other side of the seat. But now it's already, all the smell is gone. I have to buy a new one. But they do smell nice. You know, they make the car smell like new. All right, time to go to work, change, and get ready for another day of deliveries and pickups of rental equipment and machinery. I checked the orders yesterday when I was going home. What are we gonna be doing? And I see there was like a couple of loads of scaffolding. The one machine I hate, it's called industrial vacuum. It's like a vacuum. You have to bring these barrels with hoses, because hoses are like this size. There's like 4 barrels, 1 6-inch hose, 4 4-inch hoses. Then you have to get the plastic bags for the trash. Then the machine itself, it's pretty heavy, but it has wheels, so you can just roll it. Like, it's a big load, you know. Takes the entire pickup truck, the bed of the pickup truck. And then I saw a couple of scissor lifts. I saw, I think, skid steer. That would be the best. I'm getting tired of scissor lifts, but skid steers and excavators are always fun, you know. And that's, I still like this job because I get to play with all this equipment, you know. So I've been slacking recently with videos. I see my views went down, but hopefully my channel will get better when I come back from UK, because over there I'm supposed to go on a couple of runs with my friend who invited me over there, and he's a semi-retired semi-truck driver. And imagine, I'll be filming from inside the cab over in Europe, like a Renault or Volvo or whatever they use there, some German trucks, right? And we'll be rolling through the English British countryside and maybe Ireland, because he lives not too far from Edinburgh. So it's gonna be exciting. So I'm bringing my new laptop and my cameras, so I'll do a bunch of videos while I'm there, and then maybe I'll upload them from there if the guy has a good Wi-Fi. But you know, these files are big, maybe I'll upload them home, so we'll see. doing my first run, so we have 3 guys working today, including me. So two more drivers. One is driving also like a 5-ton like this, and the last guy is driving a pickup truck. And so I was happy to see that my dispatch gave me a scissor lift, but like a big one. Another Freightliner guy is moving a small skid steer, wheeled mini skid steer, like a baby one. And then the guy in the pickup truck was loading some scaffolding. And this tunnel over here, tunnel closed June 15th. I don't know if it has something to do with that G7 summit, because right above us there's the runway. It's like really spooky when you drive towards this and you can see planes. So this is all a runway and landing lane for planes above us. Maybe that's why they want to close it. I don't know. Yes, I'm just taking this airport trail shortcut to Stony Trail, because this early in the morning, that northeast part of Stony Trail is always jammed up because it only has 2 lanes, right? So this one, I mentioned this before, this airport trail, the ramp at the end of this, I'm going east. At the end, airport trail turns into another lane for the Stony Trail. And so that's where all the traffic jam dissipates, and you don't have to fight other vehicles. You just stay in this lane. Like this will end after the next light. And of course, all these people, they act like clueless. They have no idea what the lane ends, and then everybody starts trying to jump in front of me at the last moment. So I take the left lane because that's what it is, and still cannot figure out. Maybe somebody can help me, if somebody local. How do you guys pronounce this stupid name? Is it Métis or is it Métis? Apple Maps says Métis. Or Métis Trail. But it sounds French. So in French you don't pronounce the last consonant, so it should be Métis. I say Métis, so I don't know if that's if somebody knows the proper pronunciation, please let me know. Yeah, and it's the scissor lift I have. It's called what is it, 32 by 46, which means that it can go up to 32 feet in the air, and it's 46 inches wide. And those are the most 2 important numbers people want to know when they rent a scissor lift. How high can it go and how big is it? Because quite often they have to bring it inside, especially like when it's a small shop or like a small, I don't know, restaurant. They're opening up in a retail plaza. Of course, those doors are standard, they're pretty low, right? And so if somebody works in a small space like that, they would grab our smallest one, which is called 19 by 30. So it can only go up to 19 feet, but it's only 30 inches wide. And most of them, the top collapses. So you just take a couple of pins out, boom, boom, and it becomes much lower. So you definitely can enter any retail space. Oh, I gotta remember, maybe I should set the alarm for the guy who picks up my Durango at 10. So I took a picture of where I hit the key. So 9:40, 9:45, I'm gonna send him the picture. But the car is ready, clean, gassed up. I topped up the windshield wash fluid, left him 2 bottles of water, I think I'm being a good host, as they call us. But yeah, this previous guy, man, so far my favorite customer. 50 bucks tip and free car wash. Another guy actually did the same in terms of car wash, but he took the Durango to an old style place where, you know, the car sits on a conveyor, and that really rubs. If you don't position your car perfectly in the center, you really damage your tires, you know. Well, not damage, but that conveyor, the walls leave really bad marks. Yeah, you see this? So this is where it ends. No one is jumping ahead of me. Holy moly, wow. Well, the UPS truck finally caught on. Oh, my lane is ending. What do I do now? And this is it. This is the last set of lights before the freeway. And so yeah, this was difficult with this not enough time between rentals. So one guy returns the car at 10, even like 10:30. He was a bit late, but I didn't say anything. And this guy rents it at 10 a.m. And I never did this before because they give you this buffer, right? Like on the app, you can choose your buffer, how many hours or days you want from the time one rental ends till the next customer can book your car, you know. And also you can choose the advance notice. Like until last week, my advance notice was 1 day. I need 1 day notice, and the buffer was 1 day, which means that if this guy returns the car at 10 p.m., it's not gonna show in search results unless somebody wants to rent it at 10 p.m. on the next day. And so what happened is that I had a guy renting it today. He booked this before, and then there was some kind of a problem with his payment. And the rental company sends me a message. They said, "Oh, the trip is canceled. There was a payment. There was a problem with the payment." Okay, and the guy actually texts me. He says, "I'm sorry, I have to rebook because my first payment didn't go through, so I have to rebook." And he tries to rebook, but because I have 1 day buffer, the system would not allow him to start the rental at 10 a.m. because I had this customer returning the car at 10 p.m. on the previous day, right? And so he texts me and he says, "Oh, I cannot book until the evening." No, actually it said, "I cannot book until June 11th, which is tomorrow." He says, "I really need the car on June 10th. And I knew right away what the problem was, so I went into the app settings and I changed the buffer from 1 day to 12 hours. And right away, I said, "Try now." And the system allowed him to book the car. So I just didn't want to lose the customer, but I changed it back to 1 day because it's just not convenient for me. I don't care. I just have one car, right? So the plan was to rent the Jeep, but since the Jeep is damaged by hail, it's like a hail bucket, I don't want to rent it. I don't think people will take good care of it if it's in that condition, or probably the rate will be too cheap. I don't know, but for now it's just the Durango. So yeah, now we're going south on the ring road, Highway 201, Stony Trail. according to Miss Apple, I'm jumping off at Glenmore Trail in 13 clicks. And I called the guy, I said, what kind of building is this? And he says, oh, it's a warehouse. And he says, I don't think they open until 8. Well, I said, I'm coming in 30 minutes. Can I leave it somewhere on the ground? I don't need a dock, I can drop it on the ground. The guy says, yeah, you can leave it in the front. Okay. Yeah, quite often I find, you know, because we start at 6:45, so quite often I call people like at 7, and half of them are sound, you know, like they were just asleep 2 minutes ago. And so this early in the morning I usually prefer to send them a text message, but because this was a commercial building, I wanted to talk to the guy to make sure, you know, like what side of the building he wants it in, you know. Because it can be a big building with a few tenants, right? There can be a fence somewhere in the middle. If I drop it on the wrong side, then the guy will not be happy. So we won't have a happy customer, which is a big no-no, right? We need to have a happy customer. Yeah, this is the area where I went on the bike. I did a video about this when I went through this little forest area here. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so I try to do a bike ride every Sunday, as you saw from previous videos, but the rest of the week we're gonna have lots of rain. The weather app says starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm pretty sure Sunday as well. I don't want to ride in the rain because my bike would be dirty, and I started at home. I have to pass this guy here because I'm driving only 95 clicks an hour. Well, was. I don't want to be in the middle lane. So yeah, yesterday was really hot, you know. So thankfully today the forecast says plus 23, which will make my delivery job much easier. And I remember this, I had, when I was on my bike, that's the bike path over there, I had to jump over the rail line. It's like the gap between the rail and the pavement was like this. And so if one of our drivers was doing scaffolding and he's in a pickup truck, so chances are, because I saw there were 2 loads, chances are he'll be doing the rest of the scaffolding, which is good news for me. And I have one delivery, and after I drop off the scissor lift I have a pickup. I did not look yet what I'm picking up, but probably somewhere in the same area, very far south. Yeah, sorry my windshield's so dirty. It's just lots of bugs now. I had to clean the Durango again this morning because you know, it was daylight and I could see I still had a bunch of mosquitoes on the front, so I grabbed the cloth and use some water, sprayed water, but it's not easy. Like those things are so sticky, you know. But next time I go for refuel to the petrol pass, I'm gonna grab one of those windshield cleaners, and they really work. And my $4.50 drink is gone, so this is $4.15. Tall Americano, half decaf. And the only reason I did this, I try to avoid Starbucks in the morning because it's so expensive. Since I have two types of decaf at home, and I have real coffee, Sumatra, are really nice, so I mix them up, you know. I have my travel mug, and so I put one pot of decaf and one pot of Sumatra, and it tastes really good. But I got lazy today. My mug, I left it in the Jeep outside of my apartment. I didn't want to go out and grab it and come back and brew coffee. And before I left, I was, you know, checking to see if I remembered everything for the next rental customer. And I see this big yellow envelope on my desk. Holy moly, I almost forgot to put the envelope in the car. And that envelope has the registration or title, proof of my insurance, proof of rental car insurance, and rental contract with his name, my name, in case cops stop him and ask him why is he driving another guy's car. There's a piece of paper for that. So yeah, June is great for rentals. June is great. You know, sometimes, oh, look at this, something is going on over there. Oh, I think it's just a construction zone. We'll go this way. So yeah, this guy this morning is my customer number 2, and then I have 2 more. And I had to block off the second week in July because of my vacation. Holy moly, that's my exit. Just some guy driving in a, oh, he's escorting a farm tractor. Oh, it's you know, the guy that mows grass. West? Yeah, west, this way.
In 1.3 kilometers, turn right onto 68th Street Southeast.
Street Southeast. Yeah, this is an interesting street, you know.
At the next light, turn right.
It's like 68 goes like this, but when you're in this lane, you cannot turn left because there's a divider over here. You see where that pylon is? So I cannot cross there early enough, so I have to be there. But I cannot cross, there's a dual line, right? And so what you have to do is, see, it's a 68th Street South. You have to take a special ramp. I don't know why they did this. This is crazy. I guess maybe because they thought there's too much traffic on the left here when you try to merge. but now I have to go there, around, and come back from the other side.
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
Like Calgary, you know, has so many weird.
In 1.5 kilometers, keep right onto 52 Street Southeast.
Yeah, it has so many weird traffic solutions, you know, like whoever designed them like this, just nuts. What is this? The app was saying I was like 2.6 clicks away. Now it says 3.9 because I guess it thinks I missed the, wait a second. Oh yeah, because my delivery is right there and it thinks for some reason I missed the 68th Street exit and it's sending me around in a huge loop. No, buddy, I'm right here. Actually, wait a second. So that's why it's sending me there. I was supposed to go north. Holy oh boy, I thought I was going west. I mean south. Shoot. Alright, we'll go to the next one. Son of a gun. Just 1 kilometer. At least here we have a chance to pass a Freightliner dealer. Lots of day cabs, sleeper trucks. Wow, these guys are packed. Lots of it.
Right lane to keep right onto 52 Street Southeast.
Lots of inventory. This is a Mac dealer. Also lots of inventory. So it looks like not too many people are buying trucks nowadays. Probably because of all these tariffs. A Volvo. You see all this area? Oh, but it's an industrial Volvo. Okay, commercial. Oh, Zenebogen. I see the green machine, Zenebogen. The son of a gun who broke my floor on the trailer. Picked that one up in Georgia at the port and had a really tough time loading it because the controls are really unusual. And then I took it to Montreal, still remember, it was 110,000 pounds. You know, the thing that works at recycling yard, grabs metal. It's so heavy, but has tiny wheels, dual tires, like this size. And when we tried to unload it in Montreal, once it started moving, my board started cracking. I even sent an email to the factory, you know, I said this is what happened. Just some feedback for you guys, for your engineers, but they never replied. I said the wheels must be
1.2 kilometers, turn right onto 62nd Street Southeast.
The tires should be bigger for such a heavy machine. And so the guys had to bring a sheet of metal, like a pretty thick sheet, and they put it on the floor and they were able to unload it without further damage to my floorboards. And then I took a couple of them, I remember, to Manitoba, like northern Manitoba, Yeah, it's made in Germany, right? So German machine, people love them for some reason.
Turn right onto 62nd Street Southeast.
So my customer is right here somewhere.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Well, just drop off the scissor lift. Checked my next trip details, and it's I'm picking up another cool machine, actually much cooler than the scissor lift, because it's a all electric boom lift. It's one of those blue machines. It seems very small, but it's over 10,000 pounds.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
So I always use 4 chains for binders. Call the guy, he says, yeah, it's on the east side of the building. I'll put the, how long you gonna be? I said 25 minutes. He said, okay, I'll put the key in. See, always call ahead. So
At the stop sign, turn left onto 76th Avenue Southeast.
and checked my email briefly, and I see there's a message from FM whatever, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and it says recently you requested a change to your DOT number that I used
8 kilometers, turn left onto Barlow Trail Southeast.
that I used as freight broker recently. Holy moly, that was like a year ago. Because that's, you know, I used that MCS 150 when I quit trucking. That's what I did. I did that MCS 150 form, kind of like an update, and I said, please deactivate my trucking DOT number, going out of business, and they have a reason there. So I did that. Everything went smoothly. Nobody harassed me. With this one, with the freight broker thing, because there was a bond involved, right? Every year you have to extend or renew that bond or insurance. So it was like $1,000 US, and I wasn't doing that well as a freight broker, right? Especially here, people in Alberta, they don't like working with brokers. You know, they prefer to work direct, so people build relationships. Take some like 50 years, you know. And so when they sent me the letter for that, the bond company sent me a letter saying, hey, you know, you owe us $1,000. I said, you know what, I don't think I want to renew it because I'm not making any money here. And she sends me a new form. Okay, you owe us $200. I said, what is this for? Oh, it's a cancellation fee. It's on your contract. Oh, really? Okay. So I canceled that, and I said, are you guys gonna notify the federal authorities? And they said, yeah. And the next thing I know, I receive a letter from FMCSA saying that my bond expired, and basically like warning me, you know, like I'm a bad guy, you know. So like I'm conducting business as a freight broker without proper, you know, proper setup. So I did another MCS. Oh yeah, and I did this update form after I did the bond cancellation. I did the update form and still I received that letter, right? Okay, so I go ahead and I do another update, and I say, guys, this is the second time I sent you this form before. Please deactivate my DOT number. A reason, going out of business. All right. 2 weeks passes, I get another letter from FMCSA, now kind of like threatening me, you know, with some action. I'm like, what the heck are you guys? You cannot read or something? And then eventually I got a letter saying that my DOT number was suspended because I failed to renew the bond. It's like, you know, I'm talking to them, but we're not communicating. Like they're like deaf, you know. And so now I received this funny email from FMCSA. And the first sentence was kind of like made me laugh, because it says, recently you requested a change to your DOT number. It takes you a year to reply. So finally they responded to my to those triple updates. I sent them 3 updates, those MCS 150, right? So it turns out what the problem was, and they decided not to tell me, is that in 2024, like I cancel my trucking authority. Well, not cancel, it's like it's still there, but it's deactivated. It says inactive, so no violation there, right? It's just, but turns out back then in 22 they allowed this, they allowed to use this MCS 150 for this. And then in 2024, that's what that email said that I just received, that in 2024 they updated their procedures and they no longer allow the use of that form when you want to go out of business. You know? So why are you telling me this now? And basically they give me links to new forms I'm supposed to use. Like, what the heck are you talking about? That number was suspended because of you guys, right? Because you didn't tell me that that form, you no longer accept that form. Man, such bureaucracy, you know? So I'm not gonna do anything. Oh, and I keep receiving emails from you know, all these service providers that camouflage themselves as if they're part of the DOT. You know, hey, your MCS expired, or you need this, you need to pay this fee. And then if you look closely at the very bottom, you see that it's not a government entity, it's a commercial organization, and they're just trying to scare you into buying some, you know, some license or some fee or something like that. So yeah, I'm really glad I got out of that racket.
In 500 meters, take a slight right turn to Glenmore Trail West.
See, June 10 to June 12. Eastbound road closure. Wow. I think it's like that tunnel I showed you guys before that's gonna be closed, and this Glenmore Trail is gonna be closed. No, actually, wait, eastbound. Eastbound is this way. Maybe just construction, but somehow all these dates, they are very close to the date of this G7 summit.
In about 11 kilometers, take the exit onto Winter Road.
11 kilometers, wow, on Glenmore Trail. That's gonna be exciting. And again, because I've been driving so much, you know, in Calgary, I already know which lane I'm supposed to be in. Like, for example, now we're gonna have a new lane on the left, and this one will end in about 2 kilometers. Now look, boom, a new lane shows up. So now we have 3 lanes. And after the next ramp, this lane ends. And again, people always act really surprised. They start jumping in at the last moment. Now look at this. Okay, so there's a car coming from the right. and it shows you extra lane, which is BS. Because that one is an exit, you see, exit only, and now we have this one, which I came from, and now after the curve, we have a nice little sign. You see, like these arrows, and the yellow sign. This lane ends. Boom. 2 lanes. Alright, stop traffic. Yeah, there's construction over there. I'm driving towards Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, and over there there's construction. And again, remember what I said about design traffic solutions in Calgary? So you lose one lane, then this one appears, and it stays there. Like, are you guys trying to make traffic as difficult as possible for motorists here? Why did you kill that lane and then made it reappear? So now, of course, all people had to move left because they were losing the lane. Now this lane appears again. So now we have 4 lanes. Okay, time now is 8:08. So I try to remember to contact my next rental victim to tell him where the key is for the Durango. Wow, really smoky today. You can hardly see the downtown. Or maybe it's my dirty windshield. Yeah, I really need to clean it up. Actually, I do have a couple of cans of window cleaner in the bag there. Oh, I was here the other day. There's a driving range for golfers here, and the bike path that I took, where I did like 22 kilometers from Pierce Park to Annie's Cafe, it's on the other side of this river over there. A really nice trail, easy, pretty much flat, no curbs to jump, you know. I liked it. I might do it again, just go a bit further this time. And so I did 21 kilometers one way, 21 back. I want to do like maybe 25 one way, you know. Then you have a cool 50K. Yeah, it was on the other side of this golf place. All right, time for my free water. That's the water that the guy gave me yesterday. A bunch of bottles. That's the problem. I'm in a bad lane because this one ends. Should have jumped into the left lane here. the machine didn't want to get loaded. I guess the batteries discharged too much, so it was didn't want to crawl up the bed. I had to hook up my winch and drag it. I was afraid I would break the winch because it's 10,000 pounds, and had to put this down to support myself because again it's too heavy. The front axle goes in the air, so now I have to remember to lift it before I leave. Well, I lifted the wheel lift, put 4 chains and 4 binders on each corner and 1 strap over the basket. And my pickup was conveniently located next to a Wild Rose brewery, founded in 1996, which doesn't seem like that long ago, but it 4 plus 25, so 29 years these guys have been in business. And they have a little bar over here, I think, or like tasting area, but I never saw them open.
Stop sign. Turn left onto Kenaywood Drive
Because
Southwest.
mostly I'm here.
Turn left onto Richardson Way Southwest.
Mostly I'm here when it's early. Oh, wait a second, they set up some blocks in here. Oh, okay. Still enough room for me to get out. And there's an army unit here. See, like this guy is walking in a camouflage uniform. Not the girl, but this guy in front of me. Because over there, that's Department of Defense. All green vehicles, and these guys are walking by occasionally.
Pass the stop sign. Then at the next one, turn left onto Richardson Way Southwest.
Now, surprisingly, you know, we have these bases here, right? But very rarely you see people in military uniforms. Like I saw one guy today when I was turning here.
Right onto Richard Road Southwest.
There was one soldier walking this way, and now I saw that one. And we are right next to the base. I don't know how they sneak in. Maybe there's like a tunnel or something from a nearby subway station. But this is a university area. There's a couple of universities here. We can, oh, I see another guy. Wow, he just appeared out of the trees. Until then he was pretty much invisible, in a field uniform. He has a beret, boots, looks like a paratrooper. No, I guess they live somewhere here. Maybe there's some barracks or something here, or maybe they live with the students at the university, you know. I think chicks dig uniform, you know. Oh, it's a girl.
At the light, turn right onto Richard Road Southwest.
So yeah, now I have a long drive ahead of me. 43 clicks back to base. Nice, on a ring road. Yeah, you see the sign on the right, that rock says Mount Royal University, East Entrance. I'll continue shooting on the ring road, see if maybe we can find some interesting trucks to videotape.
Use the middle 2 lanes to merge onto Glenmore Trail Southwest.
Oh, that's an interesting name for a company, Wild West Washing. And they have a painting on the side with silhouettes of cowboys, but they're not holding guns. I think what they were holding were like nozzle from a pressure washer, you know, with a handle. That's pretty cool. Does this guy know that his lane ends? I'm wondering. Evidently not. Man, what a bunch of morons. Like, people just don't read signs, you know? Like, why did I change the lane? Did you guys wonder? It's because I saw the sign said 100 meters forward, this lane ends. Like, what's so difficult, you know?
Stay in the left 3 lanes. In 1.5 kilometers, keep left. Use the left 2 lanes to keep left. Keep left. For about 35 kilometers, continue straight.
The cruise is set at 95 clicks an hour. I don't know why, but on this truck I like this speed. You know, when I had my K-Whopper and Mac, I usually drove real slow to save fuel. So I would do 91 or 92 clicks an hour. But this truck has a much smaller engine, so it's much better on fuel. And 95 because the speed limit is 100, and this west side has quite a few hills on the ring road. And basically what I do is I turn off my exhaust brake, and going downhill I reach a respectable 110, 115. And in many spots, you know, like whenever I was trucking, I would always count from the left. I'm talking about lanes, 1, 2, 3. So now I'm at the 3rd lane from the left. And that's where you want to be most of the time, because lane 4 is tricky. It disappears, it reappears. Well, here's an example. See, fourth lane disappeared. And then it appears again, but only as the exit lane. So the safest bet is, unless of course it's some huge city with 10 lanes in each direction, but most of the time the safest bet is lane number 3 from the left. And by safest I mean that it's not gonna disappear on you most of the time. But of course, I remember in the States, yeah, like if you are on the bypass or ring road, it can have 3 lanes, and then once you hit the interstate, most of the time it's just a 2 lane, right? And actually the same here. If you switch to Deerfoot North, Highway 2, let's say towards Red Deer, right after Cross Iron Mills, it becomes 2 lanes in each direction. Now this guy was flying at 200 kilometers an hour. Now he's, I'm guessing he's probably fully loaded. Dual tankers, some bulk. Wow. It's a good day when I'm passing somebody at 95 kilometers an hour. Now this guy is flying. Look at this. Dump truck. Trailer has 2 axles, so 7 axles total. Now we're passing a boat trail, which means that we are in southwest Calgary. Or even rather like west side. Freight line is all beat up. The hood is broken on near the wheel. Definitely a company truck with slip seating, I guarantee it. You know, when they change drivers, it's never good for the truck. Always better to have one, you know, dedicated driver. There's a flat tire. Now let's see if I'll need to brake, because yeah, this machine is pretty heavy for this truck. Okay, I'm already at 105 from 95, and that Chrysler ahead of me doesn't want to drive. Yeah, brakes are on. Actually, I think it's Infinity. Sorry, my bad. The exhaust brake is on, but it's still pulling me pretty good down this huge hill. We are passing Trans-Canada, Highway 16. So Banff is that way. I think maybe I want to go back to that Legacy Trail, you know, because I'm looking for something close to 50 kilometers, and that trail is 26 clicks one way. And so last time I only did 10 kilometers because it was my first time after winter. But now I know where the parking is. I know that you have to be there really early. So I'll keep checking the forecast, because sometimes things change.